Okay, in this series of cybersecurity audit and logging, I wanted to walk you through the steps to enable logging and just show you how easy it is to get started. We're going to do this on a Windows machine. That's the most standard platform next to Linux and Mac. Just how to get started here. So, the first thing you want to do to enable audit and logging on a local machine is go ahead and open the local group policy editor. And this is what it'll look like. You've got a couple different options when you open the editor. You've got computer configurations and user configurations. So, the one we want to drill down on is computer configurations. And if you drill down again under security settings and then finally local policies, you're going to find a folder called audit policy. And this is really the exact spot that we go to on a Windows box to configure audit and logging. And over on the right hand side here under policy, you can start to see all the different criteria that we have available to enable logs around. By default, there is no auditing. So all of a sudden, we can start to see the gap between being intentional about your audit and logging program. It's pretty easy to configure. All you do is double click on each of these options, and you'll see you have the ability to enable success and failure, or either one. Now, we're not going to get into the best practices on which ones you want to enable and success and failure. But we'll provide resources for you so you can get an idea on how to do that. So once you enable success and failure, or one or the other for each of these options, when you close it, it's going to automatically save. So this is what the audit policy folder and local group policy will look like after you're done going through each of these and enabling it to log. Now, there's a couple other important things we want to do. This doesn't take effect on its own. So, what we need to do is we need to go out to a command prompt and with administrative privileges, and we need to tell the group policy to force an update. Now, when we do that, it's basically telling the Windows machine to go ahead and ingest those settings that we took and make it a part of who it is. It's kind of its new identity. So from this day forward, we want you to use these settings that we've just configured. And the command here I put in the box is gp_update/force. You'll know if it's working because you'll see it will say updating policy. And this is what it looks like when it's done. If it's successful, it's going to say the update's been completed successfully. So congratulations, you've actually gone ahead, changed some audit logging settings, and you've forced that update to your box, and that's been successful. And so now it actually is logging. How will we know if it's logging? Well, you launch a tool on Windows called the Event Viewer. And Event Viewer has a couple different areas in it. It has application logs and system logs. But what we're specifically talking about is security logs. So you're going to go into the security section of your Event Viewer. And in that security section, you're going to start to see these different types of events. Microsoft assigns a specific number to each unique event. And I'll, be straight with you that you're going to want to spend a little bit of time in here interpreting what these events mean. But you can always do that later if you have an event. Someone in forensics can help you with this. But this one here, I just grabbed a screenshot of because it shows a logon was attempted using explicit credentials. And that means that I actually typed in credentials. So under here, we can see the name of the account, and we can see the username that I'm using and the domain that I'm using. So here's a great example of being able to go back and use your audit and event program to find evidence of when a user logged on and were they successful, or are you getting a bunch of denied login attempts? The second area that we talk about in our definitive guide to audit and logging, which we'll leave a link down below, but is also enabling auditing on folders and files that are critical. Now, you don't want to do this across your whole machine because a lot of files, especially on Windows, change. Every time there's a what we call Patch Tuesday, it will change a lot of files if you're installing programs. But let's say that you had a folder or a set of folders that you stored restricted or sensitive information in, and you wanted to know who's accessed that information other than you. Well, the way that you do that is you would navigate to that folder and you go into the properties of that folder. I've created an example here, a pretend client folder called secret client. And in here, we can go ahead and click on the properties, and down in the lower right, we can click on advanced. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to basically, by default, show us some general information about who has access to this folder. But what we want to do is down in the lower right-hand corner of this box, it says for special permissions or advanced settings, click advanced. So we want to go ahead and click that advanced button. And what we're presented with here is the advanced security settings around permissions if we wanted to get really granular. But what I want to pay attention to is the second tab called auditing. So what we want to do is push into the second tab, auditing. And again, this is what you're going to be presented with. You're going to be shown basic information about it. And what we want to do is go into there. Let me go back here and tell it that on this folder, we want to record file, read, execute, list folders, read, and write. And this is basically going to create another event in our event viewer under auditing that someone has gone in and read the contents of this folder or executed a file that was saved in this folder or listed the contents or even written a file here. So again, this is really great information to have stored. It doesn't hurt anything. There's really no disadvantage to enabling a policy like this, but it really enables you to get that security visibility that we're talking about. So I hope that's helpful. It was a quick run through on how to enable logging on a local Windows machine. I don't have a domain set up here, but if you can do it locally, you're going to be able to do it at a Windows domain level. The one caution I'd provide is for Windows domains, if you have multiple domain controllers, sometimes the events from one box will get recorded in one domain controller and the events from another one will get recorded in the other domain controller. So when you're reading events, you want to have a holistic approach on how you're going to read and review those events. Don't stop at just one. And then if you decide to go to another level, which is a SIEM system, which brings all your security events to a central spot, that's even going to make it easier, but the configuration and the expense is going to be more. So I hope that helps. Our goal here was just to review how easy it is to enable an event and audit policy on a local Windows machine to get you started. If you want, we've created a guide to audit and logging, and we've left the link down below in the description for you. I hope that helps, and have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.